What are those big yellow things out on the street that we hook our hoses up to? Anybody knows what it's called? Fire hydrants. All right, you ready? Watch your step, nice and easy, nice and easy. For us, that's probably the best part of the job, right? Is when we drive around and there's kids that wave and smile, and they just automatically associate us with, positive things, and that's been something that's been built up over generations and generations of firefighters from hundreds of years ago. This reputation has been built on us being somebody who is interested in the greatest good for every single person. And to me, maintaining that integrity of this job is obviously, other than life safety, that's one of my biggest priorities.
If we have their kid on our rig and just do a little tour, it's great for the kid and it's fun for them, but that can carry over to a call where they're having an emergency, and whether it's the same person that they saw that day or just a different person but it's wearing the same uniform, they know this is somebody I can trust.
You can look at the history of the fire service in decades, and you can see when we added EMS in the 70s, emergency medical response. We added hazardous materials in the 80s, technical rescue in the 90s, hazardous materials and WMDs in the 2000s. And now we go on at what another agency will not respond on. When someone calls 911 and nobody knows who to send, we go.
I have been a firefighter for 23 and a half years. I decided to stay a firefighter because I wanted to be the best firefighter that I could be. There is always something to learn. They're always looking for ways to make you better. They actually care about their employees. They want to know what's going on.
Eastside, for me, as a volunteer anyways, it always felt like a family, and I think that's magnified even more so as a probationary firefighter. We all care about each other. We all kind of have each other's backs. We want to know what you do this weekend. We all know the names of each other's kids and each other's wives and husbands.
We're always thinking about, how can I back up my other firefighter? How can I back up my officer? What do I see? How do I communicate that?
Everything starts with safety. We can't guarantee safety with the line of work that we're in, but we do everything we can procedurally from a training standpoint to prepare our folks to operate in the safest way possible.
Every single morning when I do my rig checks and I go and touch every piece of equipment, open every compartment, I think that piece of equipment could be used today.
There are a few jobs where you have to maintain a physical fitness level in your 50s and 60s that's similar to when you're in your 20s in order to perform. It's a difficult task, and we have to dedicate time to that.
Just as a culture, it's built in. It's expected that when you go to work, you're going to be drilling, you're going to be training, and you're going to gain proficiency.
The diversity here at Eastside on the types of emergencies we respond is incredible. Rivers, freeways, high rises, motor vehicle accidents that are in the streets, motor vehicle accidents on a freeway. We have just about every dynamic, high angle, low angle that you can have in the fire service, and we actually respond on calls in these areas. In order to do that and perform at a high level, you have to be able to afford to train at the peak level. Regionally, when you can pool your training resources and you can pool the experts of all of King County to bring the experts together to benefit your department, that's something that you can't afford to pay for on your own.
I think the benefits for Eastside Fire and Rescue, going from District 10 to Eastside and regionalizing, it brought on more people from different walks of life.
I had a little roundabout area deciding if I wanted to do something else, and then I came back to it 3 years ago, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to get hired as a career firefighter, paramedic down the road.
What I want to see in the recruitment process is the new folks coming through the door having diversity of thought and an ability to challenge the existing organization to continually improve, to get better.
Innovation in this department is always going on because people are always, the wheels are always working to look at things differently.
Being in the position to help people as they get hired after me, just adding to that change, adding to that culture is something I'm really excited about.
The station I volunteer at is 85 in Carnation, and it's 2 miles from my doorstep to the station store. So it's kind of cool to run calls in your own area.
And what about in here? Any tenderness?
No.
And especially as I first started, I wanted to fully immerse, not just myself, but my family into the service area and kind of get a real taste of what it's like. And, my family was being serviced and protected by Station 85 out there in Carnation. There's a different element
that comes into play when you live and work and play in the service area that you serve.
When you're having an HOA meeting, chances are we're in the crowd too. When you're at your school, there's a firefighter somewhere that attends your school, your church. We are the community, and we recognize that. We serve you when we're in our uniform, but when our uniforms are off, we're one of you. That's one of the reasons why we can say that, you know, we're family serving family. We're in your community, and if I'm responding on a call that's in my neighborhood, that feels a lot like family.